There's nothing.
Right.
They won't do. So I wouldn't put anything past them. They're not going to let Donald Trump win. You know, we have such craziness going on. The people who are claiming to be conservatives and constitutionalists, who are the most, they're the loudest. These are the people who are saying they're not going to vote for Trump. Okay, because you're against the will of the people and you're against the constitutional process, while you pass yourself off as a conservative constitutionalist, is the most grotesque hypocrisy I have ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when someone doesn't agree with your ideology, you're going to let the country burn. That's what ISIS does. That's what ISIS does. That's the basis of Islam. Agree with us or we'll destroy you. You know, in my opinion, and I'm going to say this, anyone who willfully allows Hillary Clinton to become president of the United States is an enemy of the state. Period. If the people pick Donald Trump, who the hell are the politicians in Washington to tell the people they don't have the right?
Well,
who the hell are these media people being controlled by the people controlling those politicians to tell the people you don't have the right to pick the presidential nomination?
Right.
This is this is crazy.
Right, David.
Do you think the founding fathers would tolerate this? Do you know what would happen if this happened in those times?
Yeah.
This is King George.
Well, I
mean, come on, this is insane.
That's just it. We've let this government, we've let presidents kind of pull their pens out and use executive action to kind of rule the country, and yet the Congress, who were supposed to do their job and issue articles of impeachment, haven't done their jobs, and basically they've let it go. And again, maybe it's because the president has dirt on each of them, but the case remains. Congress isn't doing their job, which is why they've created this monster, Donald Trump. Dave, do you feel that Hillary is ultimately going to get prosecuted, or do you just think that this is just going to get brushed under the table and that nothing's going to happen, and she's going to run for president whether she gets elected or not? Do you think that this is just a big circus, a big show? They're never gonna prosecute her.
Well, I do think they won't prosecute her, but they don't necessarily have to. I have a scenario that runs like this. The FBI does its job and issues a report, and it lists multiple charges that Hillary should be indicted, and DOJ, Obama, ignore it, try and brush it under the table, and, life goes on. And two things happen. The FBI director, Comey, resigns in protest. And the American people rise up and say there's no freaking way that this is going to be ignored.
Right.
And Hillary's numbers go through the floorboards. And what happens then is when the DNC realizes she's unelectable, they will not just sit by and watch that happen. And it's very possible, in my mind, that at their convention, they stick it to Hillary and nominate Biden, and he winds up running as the Democrat nominee. So I don't think Hillary's going to be indicted, but I don't think she needs to be. It has to do with what you've referenced on more than one occasion, Chris. Is this a government of the people, by the people, for the people? Are our founding documents that talk about we the people who have the sovereignty, do they have any meaning? Because if they do, then the American people simply will not let something like that go, and they'll be forced to do something.
Right.
So I pin my hopes on the American people. They've let me down. I couldn't agree more with the comments made. Barack Obama has been absolutely the worst president in the history of this country. He has damaged us in myriad ways, and will be a long time trying to get out from under the damage that man has done to this country.
Right.
So It's up to us.
Right.
It's up to us.
We only have we only have about 7 minutes here. You're listening to New Media Patriot Radio. I am your host, Chris, and on the Rebooting Liberty Hotline, I have Emmett, Carmine, and David. If you want to call in, the number is 347-338-1775. I know you guys are listening, so call in, please. It would be exciting to feed a question to my guest, Carmine. Do you think that if Trump becomes president, right? Do you think with all this vitriol that the GOP establishment has, do you think with the Congress, do you think that the majority in Congress are going to let him, quote unquote, work, work on his policies that he's promised the people, or do you think they're just going to block it out of spite?
Well, the president has great authority over the defense of the nation. Mm-hmm. So on immigration, the immigration isn't even funded by Congress. Right. They don't even fund immigration. That's how much power the president has. So he can build walls, he can defend the country, he can do a lot of stuff. Mm-hmm. Now, if the Congress opposes him when he's trying to, enforce immigration laws or uphold the Constitution, then the Congress is going to have to deal with that. But I believe Trump is a deal maker. He brings people together. He's not a zealot, fanatical, one-sided ideologue, my way or no way. He's not a guy that would say, I'm not going to negotiate with the people's representatives. I'm going to tell the American people to go to hell, right, and I'm not going to negotiate with the Congress. Right. I mean, anyone who buys into such a campaign promise has to have some screws loose. Right. I believe he will get things accomplished because the things he wants to do, America wants to do. David Duke didn't endorse Trump. David Duke said, if we don't secure the border, America is going down. So if you want the border secured, you need to vote for Trump. Right. Any sane person would say the same thing. Right. Well, if Obama came out for border security, these bastards would accuse Trump of conspiring with him. Right. Well, it's so bad. You're right. You're right, Carmine. And like I mentioned earlier, I said this is not about conservatism. This is not about being a libertarian or moderate. This is about this is about do or die here. Whether you're going to continue down the path of globalism and having open borders, and like you mentioned, backdoor open borders with the TPP, where you're gonna have an influx of all these workers from all over the world coming into our country, taking over our jobs, or are you going to put a stop to it by hiring a non-politician like Donald Trump, who does have a great policy paper regarding trade on his website if you want to check it out. But in closing, we have about 4 minutes here. Really quick, David, I want you to give a closing statements as to why people should vote for Ted Cruz.
Well, I'll say, first of all, I want to say that people with common sense are an endangered species in this country. And that's what's most troubling about our situation at this point in time. I think Ted Cruz offers the best comparison because he is a conservative. I do not believe Donald Trump is a conservative. I don't think anybody does. There are other factors that cause people to support Trump, which outweigh the fact that he's not a conservative. That's fine.
Okay. Okay.
But I think
that's also arguable.
Hold on, Carmen. I'm coming to you. Go ahead, finish up. You have about a couple seconds.
I didn't know.
Okay.
Dave, thank you for your statement. I got to move on to Carmine because I'm running short here. Carmine, give me your closing statements for Trump.
Well, here's the thing. Anyone with a brain in their head knows the country is sinking. We're floating on a life raft based on a U.S. economy created out of $9 trillion in new debt. Okay, so if the country is sinking, we better get the best swimmer in there to save us. Right. And as far as I'm concerned, Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz wouldn't even know where to begin. That's why I'm all in for Trump.
Awesome. Now, Emmett, give me your closing statements.
We're at a point in time in this country where we, the people, are fed up. I mean, we're totally fed up. We're done with the establishment. And you made the comment earlier about, working with and making the deals. he's going to have to do some of that, but at the same time, let him clean house. That's got to happen in Washington, period. Establishment, the GOP as we've known it, has to go.
Awesome.
We have to think in a lot broader strokes with the paintbrush than what we have in the past. We can't be confined to compassionate conservatism or anything else.
Awesome.
People in this country have to wake up, realize that it's a shill. Everybody has to vote Trump to save this country. Outsiders first. All
right. Awesome. Well, I want to thank you guys for being on my show again. We had Emmett Martin, we had Carmine Zozzora, and David Thompson. Thank you for being on my show. It was awesome, guys. And again,
thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Thank
everyone.
you. Thank you, guys. And thank you for listening to the Silent Majority here on New Media Patriot Radio. Again, follow us on Twitter at the Patriot 143 or at NMP Radio. Stands for New Media Patriot Radio. Visit our website, newmediapatriotradio.com. And if you want to get your voice heard and you want to be a guest on this show, you can simply email us at newmediapatriot@gmail.com. And in the words of Ronald Reagan, it's time for choosing. So long, everybody.